Okay, I think we have enough people now. Let's just go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar. Today, we'll be reviewing What's New in Review 2017, presented by Advanced Spatial Technologies, and showing off all the exciting new features. If you have any questions during the webinar, please type them in the questions window, and we'll do our best to answer them. If we don't get to your questions during the webinar, we'll be sure to follow up and provide an answer for you after the call. My name is Brian Tomita, and I'll be your presenter today. So let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, before we jump into the new features of Review 2017, here's a quick information about your reseller. Advanced Spatial Technologies is our Bluebeam Platinum partner, and they are an award-winning company based in Australia with over 20 years of service in software solutions. AST also carries certified staffs capable to provide outstanding customer service, technical support, and recommendation to customer worldwide. AST also provides customized Bluebeam training for all industries. And your contact information is all here. This information will also be listed at the very last slide during our webinar presentation today. So when you have a moment, please feel free to write them down, and you can just get in touch with them as soon as this webinar is over with any other additional questions or any support requests. Okay. For those of you who are familiar with us or with Bluebeam already knows, Bluebeam publishes the limits of the world's most document-intensive industries by creating intuitive PDF-based digital markup and collaboration solutions for technical professionals. Having said this, Bluebeam have been offering more with PDF, not just smart and simple solutions. Bluebeam have been developing innovative technology solutions, and these solutions have been setting standards for collaborations and workflow efficiencies for AEC professionals worldwide. It is important to think of Bluebeam as not just another PDF solution, but more of an efficient tool for AEC workflow improvement. As in the AEC industry, we currently have the high market penetration rate displayed on the slide globally, with these numbers continuing to grow. As for our solutions, we offer two families of product at Bluebeam. First is Revu, which enables end-to-end digital workflow with PDF creation, editing, markup, and collaboration capabilities. Let me see here. Okay. Sorry here. There you go. Also, the next is the Bluebeam Studio, which provides trusted collaboration platform connecting project partners worldwide in real time or on their own time. Bluebeam Studio usage experience by the customers can further be enhanced with the purchase of Studio Prime or Studio Enterprise, offering increased security control over their users and data. Revu streamlines processes throughout the entire project lifecycle. By viewing, editing, and sharing documents quickly, you can keep project moving forwards with less idle time spent waiting around. With Bluebeam Revu's powerful PDF creation, markup, and collaboration tools, customers are able to accelerate all stages of a project from design review all the way to closeout and facilities management. Okay, we are now ready to jump into Review 2017, our best of the best release yet. Many features included in this new release is designed to truly streamline various workflows performed by our customers, such as yourselves, on a daily basis. Also, the features included are ones which have been highly requested by the customers and not something which merely came out of our creative mind. With Review 2017, the development was to maximize workflow efficiency, and these tools and enhancements work throughout the project lifecycle, and of course, all created based on our customer feedback. We will be introducing two categories of tools today. The first one is Quantity Takeoff Workflow. It's the biggest workflow we have focused on for this release and biggest area we have strived on developing. The next one is automation and visualization tools. The automation tool is only available with the Extreme Edition, which will allow customers to save substantial amount of time and money. The visualization tool, which includes 360 photos and 3D contents to really enhance the way the customers are communicating on the job site and in the office. Okay. To start off, let's talk about the quantity takeoffs tool. Goal with the tool enhancement in Review 2017 is to help customers deliver a better bid, and we have decided 4 features below or on the slide for this purpose. Delivering a better bid is all about getting the takeoffs done faster, and the dynamic fill, which is the wow feature for 2017, will make it much faster for customers to complete variety of takeoffs. Quantity link is a tie between Excel spreadsheet and Review, which is offered under the Extreme Edition only. We will then talk about the measurement tool enhancements, which will give customers even more granularity and options when it comes to how to do measurement on their documents. Finally, we will also look at how count tools have been enhanced, which enables much more quicker and efficient counts on documents and then to be used down the line. As we have mentioned at the beginning, we have placed a lot of focus on takeoff workflows, as you saw in the new enhancements. Now let's take a look at other enhancements other than takeoffs we are also introducing in Review 2017. For automation, we will introduce the 2 of the most heavily requested features of all time to help customers such as yourselves. First one, automation, form creation, and batch sign-in seal. These really helps the customers get the job done faster. You'll see that on the demo. Next are the visualization tools. These tools will help the customers communicate the information better. The 2 major new features in Review 2017 are 360 photos. This feature allows users to take 360 photo with cameras such as Samsung Gear 360 or Ricoh Theta S and embed them through capture into the PDF. 3D PDF enhancements. This again features your customers have been asking for. So without any further delay, let's just go straight into the demo. Okay, so the first one is going to be the estimation, the takeoff estimation. So let's just go ahead and open a document. I have a document here. Okay, I'm going to open up. And you can see it's a drawing, of course, and then I have a little attachment over here. So I'm just going to play a scenario of being an estimator. So I'm receiving this document here, and it's good to have, this is a profile that's attached here, advanced material profile, and this is one way to good way to communicate to the team. If you have a profile that you want to use, you want the estimators to use, there are several ways to communicate that profile, but then one of the best ways is to actually attach it to the document like what you're seeing it right here, like in this example right here. All I have to do is, if I'm an estimator, I receive this document, I double click on this and it just automatically loads in the profile. As a matter of fact, I've already done this, so I'll just show you how it looks like. I have the profile here, and by double clicking this one once again, I have this advanced materials loaded right here. So what do I have in this profile? First of all, this advanced materials includes these preset materials here with these label setting over here and all the advanced materials. So it's just kind of like ready to go to have the setting right here in this profile. Also included in this profile, I'm just going to shorten this a little bit over here, are 2 custom columns. One is called material and the other one is called material cost. And these custom columns can be made straight within Review from the section right here. I'm just going to open right here. Once again, I'm just going to open right here in this section and open right here, and you have the custom columns tab right here, and you'll see these 2 custom columns that's created. So let's look at each one of them here. The first one is the material right here. And as you can see, when you click on this one, so these all preset drawing, basically a combination of the material and the cost. This is in dollars, $5.5, $5.50, what have you, is all created here. So one way to do it is actually go one by one into this in details and add and just, continue to enter all these items. But to be honest, that's not really considered intuitive enough, because usually the estimators will probably have a pre-built spreadsheet or whatnot with all this information built in. So if that's the case, then rather than spending time within Review creating all these line items one by one, going all the way down, you can actually just import that spreadsheet straight in. So you have this data right in pre-designed spreadsheet, just load it right in here to save time, and you have the information that you need. So that's the first custom column that you have. The second one is the material cost here. So let's just open and see how that looks like. So this one you see is a formula type. So this one, what it does is that it takes the measurement that you've taken off from the diagram and it multiplies by the material cost that you just saw on the other custom columns in the material columns here, and it just generates an estimate, subtotal of the estimate right there. So those are the two, the tool chest right there and the custom columns that's embedded in that custom profile or advanced material profile right there. So now I have this information, I have this profile loaded. What's the next thing I do as an estimator? Well, before I start taking measurements, I want to make sure that I'm getting the correct measurements. So what that requires is a calibration, of course. So let's just go ahead and do the calibration. Okay, I mean, best practice is to take the longest area measurement or the long length measurement and take the calibration from there. So I can go over here to my right panel, go to the measurement tab, and I can choose calibrate. I'm going to take this longest line over here and take the measurement here. Click, and I'm shifting my key to draw a straight line right here, and I'm going to adjust this to what it shows. It's 7.056 millimeters. Okay, I'm going to click OK. And once I have that takeoff, I want to make sure that that is the correct takeoff. So I'm just going to take the measurement on the second set right here to make sure that I have the correct calibration done. Oops. Let me just go ahead and take that off. Accidentally click on the check. Okay, I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to take the measurement right here. Okay, and go right here. And I'm going to do the precision to 3 digits, and there you have it right there. So now I have this. I'm going to make sure that it's correct. You can see that it's correct right here. It's a little bit off, but we'll live with it. That's fine. I mean, if you do it correctly, then you'll show the correct precision right there. I can do it again, but I don't want to waste too much time on doing that for you guys. So I have that over there. The next thing I want to do is I want to make sure, I mean, this is something that, to have a quick summary as an estimator, it's a convenient tool. It's strictly optional, but I want to do something called a legend. And some of you who are already familiar with Revu, legend is a functionality that we introduced in Revu 2016. So that's a last year feature that we introduced, but it's a very convenient feature that I wanted to show you that how it's going to look like over here. So to get the legend, I click on this right here and on the properties and click legend and create new legend. And as soon as I click that, it's already built and you can see it, and I can just paste it anywhere I want. I'm going to put it on the corner right here so that it won't be too distracting. I'm just going to open it up right here. And once I have this, okay, I'm going to change. I'm going to add some more in here. I'm going to go to the properties right here, properties, which opens this tab right here, and I'm going to edit the columns right here. I'm going to add a couple of more in here to make it easier to see. I'm going to add label. Okay, I'm going to first add label, and I'm going to move this up. Okay, up over here, and I'm going to move this. I'm going to reposition it. You'll see it over here once I start doing this. I'm going to reposition it, and I'm going to put it right next to description. So I have the label, a label quantity, and I have a unit, and I want to add one more. I want to add material cost. Okay, so let me go ahead and pick material cost right here, highlight it, and I'm going to move this up. And you'll see what I'm doing right here as I do this. Okay, so as I do this right here, I move it up here. So I have description, label, quantity, unit, measurement. I'm going to click OK. And once I click OK, you see that it's all listed over here. And just to clean up a little bit on the view so it looks cleaner, once again, this is just optional. I don't want to, once again, spend too much time on a Revu 2016 feature here, but I'm just going to go ahead and clean it up a little bit so it'll look nicer. Okay. And I'm going to change the color to black. And there you have it right here. It looks kind of nice, right? So I'm just going to put it right here where it's not going to be taking too much space over here. And as you can imagine, as I start taking measurements, then you'll see this filling up over here. Okay, so now I got the calibration done, and I got the legend up. I'm ready to go and I'm going ahead and do a takeoff. First one I mentioned, it's a wow feature for Revu 2017, dynamic fill. Let me see how that looks like. Dynamic fill can be found in the measure right here and right here in the dynamic fill section right here. Once I click on this, you'll see a little panel that open up right here, a little palette, if you will. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this little plus sign right here. This builds a boundary or wall, we call it. And I'm just going to draw a wall over here. What I'm doing is I'm kind of like closing down all the open spaces right here. And you'll see the reason real quickly why I'm doing this. I'm just sealing all the openings right here. So I'm just closing. I'm making an enclosure right here, right? Click and double click right here. So I build those boundaries. Then I use the fill. So it's just like dropping a paint, and it just automatically fills like this. Just drop it, get it going, and just fills it up. I'm just going to do one more to give you an idea. So once I have this fill done, okay, then I'm already ready to make takeoffs, right? Let me do the takeoffs. I can do spaces. I can pretty much do anything I want. I can do spaces. Let's go ahead and do the spaces right here. I can rename it if I wanted to. I can change the color, right? I'm just going to change the purple for the sake of it, right? And I can do like, polygon, but then I can do area measure. I'm just going to take the area measurement right here, and not just taking area measurement, but if you remember on my advanced material profiles, I already have labels or materials onto it. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick something. I'm going to say flooring is concrete in this case right here. So I'm going to pick this one and click on that one. And I can do I just add some more variety. I'm just going to add a perimeter to this. I'm just going to say tile base, add it right here. Take that off. I can also do volume and all that type of stuff as well. I'm going to go ahead and apply. As soon as I finish apply, you will see that the measurements are all taken. And not only that the measurement is taken, if you remember, I did the custom columns, the material, assigned the material, and the corresponding cost to it. It just automatically does the calculations based on the formula, and it just gives you the estimate in a matter of seconds. And I did the area measure takeoffs, and I did the perimeter takeoffs, and it's just all showing right here, right, immediately. Okay, and let's just see what happened here on the other section. If you remember, I took spaces also. So I have the spaces taken right here too. So in case, the customers, if you're working on something like a Revit, a CAD program, then we have a functionality or option to convert Revit rooms into spaces. But then for some reason that didn't convert over, but then you have to create your own space, or you prefer to create your own space. You can still do it the old-fashioned way of creating it one by one space at a time, but in this way it's much quicker, as you can see right here. And you have an option to rename it. I just named all of them Space A for now, but you have an option to name it in any name you want on these spaces. But you can see it's much quicker process than the traditional way, and it saves a lot of time, and obviously that leads to saving money for the customer. It's the biggest wow feature for Revu 2017. Okay. In addition to performing these standard takeoffs, Revu 2017 also has tools specific to different workflows, making it much easier for different trades in completing their tasks. One of them is called the Polylink tool. So let's just see how that one looks like. Okay. I am going to take a sink right here. Okay. I have the sinks right here. And let's say there's a pipe that's running through it, obviously because it's a sink, so there's a pipe running through it. And I want to figure out what the measurement is between each of these sinks, as well as the overall length of the pipe that I'm going to need. Okay, once again, that can be accomplished with the new feature called the polylink, or I can see the polylength right here. Okay, so again, go to measurement, and it's polylength right here. So I click on this one. Then all I have to do is take the sink and just click in between. I'm clicking it to start and clicking it between the sinks right here. And you can see it's starting to take measurements already right there. Okay. And when I get to the last one, all I do is double click on it. Okay. And it just automatically calculates the measurement. It gives you the in-between measurements. Sorry, it's a little bit hard to see, but then you see the measurements and you see the overall measurements as well. Okay. And on top of this, so this is obviously, since it's a sink, I have to think about a pipe, right? This is a pipe that's going to run down to the floor, let's say. And let's say that's about 10 millimeters down the floor, right? And in the old models of Revu 2016s or older, the older versions of Revu, the users had to be creative because that functionality was still not available. But of course, since I'm talking about it, you know that that's the new feature for Revu 2017, right? So in Review 2017, you do have the ability to add rise and drops. Okay. So let me see here. Over here on the measurement, you will see the rise and drop over here. So in this case, I say 10 millimeters down onto the floor. So I enter this, and you can see immediately it recalculates the overall length, and it just indicates the rise drop value that I just added. So let me just do this real quickly again. I'm just going to put it to 0, right? And it just goes back here. I'm going to put a little bigger number so it's easier for you to see it. And you can see it added right there, the 100. You can see it added 100, and it just shows that the 100 is the rise drop value right here. So that is now capable to be calculated and be indicated on the drawing with Review 2017. Another one right here, I'm going to look at this ramp right here, and let's just take a measurement. Let's take an area of this measurement right here. Since I have the dynamic fill now, I'm going to take advantage and use that again. I don't have to build a boundary, as you can see, because everything is sealed. There's no opening here, so I can just go ahead and start pouring the paint, if you will, the fill. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just let it fill, and you can see it's all filling up, and it's stopping right here. And once I'm done with that, I'm just gonna go ahead and again, I'm gonna assign, maybe I'm at the same material right here. I can just change it to 1 if I wanted to, and apply. And as you can see, it just automatically applied the material, and it just calculated the area measurement right here, right? Then, again, with the new Review 2017 feature, you have the ability to, right here, add a rise and drop right here, okay? So, right here, okay? So the rise and drop right here. So let's say this rise and drop, I mean, just a recap of it, that it can be slanted, it can be angled, right? And again, that was something that the users had to be creative in the older version of Review, and they had to do their own calculations and add some more measurements in there and come up with their own version that they can add on to the square footage or the area measurement right there. But then with this new Review 2017, that can be indicated. And depending on which country you are located in, that can be expressed as either degree, grade, pitch, and what have you. So let's say I'm going to go a degree in this example here. I'm going to say, okay, the slope is 15 degrees, right? And I'm going to add that, and I'm going to enter it. And you can see immediately it recalculates the whole area measurement, and it indicates the slope right there of what degrees that I've entered in this scenario. I'm just going to go ahead and add 0 again. Just go back and do it real quick for you. Okay, so you have this right here. You have that indicator as well. As far as the cutoffs is concerned, now you have the ability to do a cutout. Let me hear, a cutout right here. Right here. The new one is the ellipse. So we have the ability to do a cutout by ellipse now. That's a new feature in Review 2017 as well. And as I'm adding all these cutouts, you can see that it's adjusting the area measurement because it's taking that cutout into consideration. It's taking that out of the total area measurement. So that's a new feature for Review 2017 too. Other quick one is that when you want to enter a area, let's say I'm going to enter an area. I'm going to just enter area just anywhere I want. I'm just going to add a rectangle right here. I have an option to actually display all the segment values right here. Immediately you can see all the segment value can be quickly displayed with this little option right here. Just click on that and you can indicate that. That's something a little new as well. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about the count tool measurements, right? So for the count tool measurements, we're introducing 2 types that you can count. The first one, let me just show you. I'm going to look at another sink right here. Okay, right here. And I want to obviously I'm counting, so I'm going to go ahead and try to count this. How many of these sinks are there on these drawings, right? First, what I want to do is I want to take a rectangle. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get the rectangle. This is for those of you who are familiar with Review already, how it operates. You just take a rectangle, recognizes that. I'm just going to go ahead and search against that. It's a visual search, right? I'm basically searching against that shape right there, and it's calculating right now, and it just found 11 results right away. So there's 11 of these. What I can do is I can highlight them all because I'm counting them, right? And I can actually click on this check mark right here, and from my profile, I can assign the material right away from here. So I'm going to go ahead and select this one right here, okay? And it highlighted everything with that material right there. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And as you can see, it counted 11. And once again, it applied all the material costs, and it gave me a subtitle on the estimation for those sinks, all 11 of them, real quickly right there, right? Not just counting, but it's also giving me an estimate right there on the fly, right? And I can right click on this one, and I can actually do it on the drawing too. And I can also split them all. If I split them all, instead of clustering it all in 11 counts, which is still there, I can even divide them up into ones. I can split them partially. Like if there's 11, I can do it like 6 and 5 or 4 and 7, or I can just split them all into one. So I can do split partial, or I can do split them all. So there's that option as well. Okay. Another feature we're introducing is that you can actually use these icons or these images right here and apply that as a counting tool. So let's see how that works like, right? Rather than explaining, let me just show you how that works like. So I want to take this design right here, and I want to use this. I want to make this into a counting tool. So, you know, like, I mean, there's one way to do it is put check marks. Like in the traditional way in Revu, it was all check marks when you're counting. But, you know, there's another option to do that in terms of using this design right here. So what I'm going to do is I want to take this image and make a copy. So in Revu, copy paste can be done by using a feature called snapshot. So I'm going to click on the snapshot, and I'm going to take this image right here. Okay, and this is a copy that I did. So obviously I'm gonna go ahead and paste that. Now I have this image right here, right? To distinguish it, I'm going to change the color, right? Change color right here. So the change color here, the way it works, this is a black background. So I'm going to choose black background here, and I'm going to change this to a different color. Feel like a lime color, if you will. Go ahead and click OK. So now I have this changed colors right here, right? I have it highlighted, right? Now with that, just a little recap, all that is being tracked, right? All the markups that's entered is being tracked, and it's tracked right here, the one I just created right here. I can just move this that I created and move it into this materials takeoff section right here. So now I have the copy right here as a snapshot. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to say create count. As soon as I do that, you see the same image built right here, and now it becomes a count measurement, right? You can see that it has a 1, 2, 3 indicator here showing that it's counting. It's a count measurement now. So I use that icon for the count measurement. I don't need this anymore. I can leave it here if I want, but I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So once I create this count measurement, I can just go ahead and use that as a count measurement, right? So I have these designs right here, right here. So I'm going to look at the markup list, see where it is. And you can see I clicked on 6 and I have it right here. It's all counted right here. So that's another enhancement that we made. You can actually use those images to make it into a count tool. Okay, so now you can see that I have all the measurement taken in here I need. Of course, in real world, if I'm an estimator, I'm going to have to do a whole bunch of them. But in this demo, I've done what I needed to do. I have all the takeoffs done. And if you remember the legend, I'm going to be showing you real quickly later, but then I have all the measurement summary over here, which is aligned with what's in here. So basically, it's taking a summary of what's listed over here, and it's basically showing you a nice little summary right here. As an example, the tile base right here, you should see a tile base, right? Quantity, and the material cost right here is showing right there, right? So now I have this nice, it's nice. I have all the takeoffs done. I have a markup list, and I have a nice legend, a summary showing up on the screen. But then the most important part for the estimators, the ones they do all the work within Revu, now they need a way to figure out how to extract this data, how to pull this data out of Revu to be able to put it on their estimation documents that they're going to use for, a bidding and all that, right? That's what's most important thing to do. So traditionally, what all the users have been doing, all the estimators, when they're using Revu, is that they'll get all the estimates like I was doing right now, or the takeoffs and the estimates, and then they would actually create a report out of it, typically a CSV summary. They can use XML if they wanted to, but then they would export it out in that form and then figure out a way to put it into their estimation document, like an Excel spreadsheet and what have you. Now with Revu 2017, we made that process much more intuitive. And that is called the quantity link. That's the next big wow feature for Revu 2017. So the way it works is that I have this little nice estimation sheet right here, right? As you can see right here. Here I have the documents open here. The first step what I do is that I go and do a right click on my mouse and go to quantity link. and I have to check on my source file. I have this. I'm going to go ahead and just take this off real quick. I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to find a document that is linked right here. So I have this right here. I'm going to click OK. And as soon as I do this, you can see that numbers are starting to build right here, right? And the way this works is I click on the quantity right here on this little column right here. And once again, I go to quantity link and I do edit. And the way you set it up is that this one is showing area. So from here, I can choose area. I mean, if this is showing length, then of course I'm going to choose length or any other unit that I'm taking off of. So in this case, it's an area. And I'm going to choose a label. It says concrete 1. So I'm going to do concrete 1. So that's how that's being drawn. And you're doing this one by each column right here to get all the values. So let's see if it matches, right? So I have a concrete 01. Concrete 01 is here. The quantity is 76. This is the number is a little bit off, but then here 76412 off, meaning like it's not 2 digits. It's showing the decimals, but 95.52. So if I shrink the decimals, you know that it's going to show 95.2, right? As a matter of fact, I can just go ahead and show that to you if that's going to make it easier. I'm just going to go ahead and take some decimals off. Here you go. So that's easier to see. So it matches on the numbers right there, right? And a concrete 02 is 28.078, 63. So there you go. You have it right there. It's the same thing right there. So now you can see that it's linked. So instead of going through that process of generating a report, export it as a CSV, and then figuring out a way to link that information that you extracted as CSV into this spreadsheet, now it's all linked right here. Okay, let me show you something interesting here. I'm going to go to the material. Okay, I'm going to go to the material right here. And I'm going to choose the concrete again right here. And let me just go ahead and add this right here. As you can see, when I add this, it's the legend is dynamic. So it changes the value right here. Watch more carefully. One more time. I'm going to delete this. It shows the number to be over here, the quantity value, and over here. I'm going to go ahead and add that again, right? Concrete 02. I'm going to add it right here. And the numbers have been updated right here. Well, how about the Excel spreadsheet? The Excel spreadsheet, sorry about that. Let me just try to adjust the size right here, right here, so easier to see, okay? Right here. As you can see right here, concrete 02, 95609, 95609, 2550. So you can see that the spreadsheet has updated. So what I'm trying to say is that this link is dynamic. It's a dynamically connected link is what it is. So you change the information on the drawing, then it will reflect, it will update the spreadsheet. Right now, it's one-way traffic. So drawing update gets reflected into Excel or the spreadsheet. If you update anything on the spreadsheet, it will not come back onto the drawing. So it's a one-way, but then it's dynamically linked, okay? Let me do something here. Once again here, I'm just trying to adjust it here so that you'll be a nice size right here. Okay, here we go, okay? So let me go ahead and right here, as I mentioned, I was linking this to this spreadsheet right here. I'm gonna just pick on this empty right here. I'm gonna go to quantity link again. I'm gonna do the source file, and I'm going to take this link out. I'm gonna remove that link, and I'm gonna try to add something else, okay? So let me go ahead and add something else. It's a different link right here. I'm gonna click OK. And once I do this, you see that it gets a lot more busier, and you have more information here. I added, if you remember, I added, once again, I go to quantity link right now. Source file is showing as this filled document right here. So let me just go ahead and open and see how that looks like, okay? And once I open that document, you will see right here, this one right here. You will see right here that it's a lot more. You can see a lot of takeoffs has been done on this document here. And if you look at this as an example, tile base, right? Tile base right here. Let me see here. Yep. Let me see right here, the tile base. If I look at the tile base right here, what's the total amount? 4784, tile base 4784, and the value is that much, 132. Let me see if I can extract that. Let's see if I can show it to you. There you go. And you can see that the amount is showing right here, right? So you can see that the link is still working. So what I'm trying to get to here is that you don't have to, every time you change your drawing, the link that you do onto a different drawing, that you have to recreate the links again one by one, each of them like I was showing you. No. Once you establish a link, it will continue to work even though you switch between drawings. So it's a much quicker process to extract the data from Review into your estimation document. A big time saver, very powerful document, powerful functionalities for Review 2017. Okay. Now, those are all the automation that or the workflow new functionalities that we've built in into Review 2017 for takeoffs and estimates. Right now, let's look at other automation tools. The first one is the automatic form fill. Okay, so how does that work? Let me just go ahead and open up a form. All right, go ahead and open up a form, and let me see here. RFI template right here. So I have this nice RFI template here, and I created this, right? A template right here. I don't have to really explain too much off of this one. I go to the document. Let me see here. A form, I'm sorry, form. And there's this new feature called auto create, right? So go to form, auto create, and click on that. Boom. It just creates the form just like that. And nicely, it even captured the signature section right here. So you have all these categories right here that's being created. And those of you who are familiar with forms creation, PDF form creations, traditionally this had to be created one by one. Now, as you can see, in a matter of seconds, everything is created. So everything is automated. This was actually one of the biggest, one of the highest, highly requested features of all time, to have this automated. And now we are finally introducing with the release of Review 2017. Right. The next one is batch, sign, and seal. How does that work? So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Batch, and I'm going to go ahead and do a sign and seal. This is a new feature added right here. Go ahead and double click on that one, and I'm going to add all the files that I want to add on that one. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my sample documents here. Okay, batch and sign and seal, and I got all the documents here. I'm going to choose everything, and I'm going to click Open. Next, and once I load all that information up, then I'm going to see those documents with the menus over here. There's a signature here, sign and seal, right? So the first one is to do a signature. So the assumption is that by the time you get at this stage, you already have your digital signature account, right? So in this case, as an example, I'm going to use mine. Digital signature, I have my own, and I'm going to enter my password to access my digital signature. And once I have this, I have it listed right here. I can add, for those of you who are familiar with digital signatures, I have an option to add this. I reviewed this document, whatever, and I can just add date if I wanted to and all that kind of stuff. And I have this nice and ready to go signature right here, right? Let me see if I can load it up a little bit, okay? And once I have the signature, I want to position it into the document. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize it a little bit because I want to position it in a nice area here, make it a little smaller. Move it over here, enlarging it, or made it even smaller, but go ahead and grab that. There you go. And I'm going to put it right here. I want my signature to come right here. Same thing with the seal too. So first, if you don't have anything, you can actually import the custom design seal for the company. You can use a sample one. I happen to have a sample one. So as soon as I click on that one, you're seeing it right here already, right there. I can go ahead and resize this again. It's just a matter of resizing because I just want to put it in the right position and move it into position right here, right? And I have that template, and let's look at a different size. And for a different size, I have it already right here. Same thing, I'm just going to change it a little bit, or maybe I'm just going to keep it the way it is right here. It's too big. I'm going to just make it look nicer for the sake of it. Okay, there you go. And I have my signature right here. I'm just going to put it somewhere like this. And once I go through all that in the design, I'm just going to go ahead and click done, right? Review calculates immediately right there, and it just basically go ahead and put them all in there. Let's see how it looks like, right? Let's see how it looks like. It's nice and done, nice, and it's done right here. I just put it right here. It's kind of ugly, but then I did it right there. And let me see how the other ones look like. I'm just going to open a couple more. Yep, this one has it right here. That little warning is telling you that there's a signature. I want to open a different signature box right there. That's what it's basically telling you, but it's nicely done over here. Let me just open just one more on that different design just to give you how it looks like, just show you an idea. Okay. And this one is showing it right here as I have put it right there as I intended. And as you can imagine, by the time you do the estimation, this requirement for these documents to have sign and seals entered can amount to like anywhere from like in the hundreds to thousands, right? 500, what have you, thousands, what have you. So this batch process, once again, will help the customer save substantial amount of time and money and by having this done automatically in this batch process. Okay, now next is the visualization tool. Let's look at the photo, okay, photo enhancement. So I'm going to open this one, this drawing right here this time. And if you look at this drawing, I'm just going to close this off to give you more space, you'll see that there's a capture that's attached. The capture, just a little recap, is something that it's a collage of photos, basically photos and video clips that you can add into a markup. So you enter a markup, which is this one right here, and you can actually right click and add this capture right here. So the advantage of capture is that instead of lining up, if you have like 100, I'm not going to exaggerate, maybe 50 of photos that you want to list, you can actually do it one by one by one and list it all over here, but then you're wasting your precious real estate space that you have. That's why we created something called a capture, so you can collect that information and put it all in here. In this example, in this enhancement, I will talk about the 360-degree photo enhancement. So as you can see, this one is a 360 photo because as you can see, it's indicated right here. And you can see that you can move it around. You can see that it's a 360 image, right? And you can actually zoom in and zoom out. All the way zoom out, right? Move around, just like what the 360 photo image would do. So this one gives the user ability to communicate more of the detailed information that you want to communicate by, entering a markup and adding this will give a better visualization of what you're trying to explain. So now you have this new feature enhancement to add this. Just one note about the capture. Once again, for some of you, it's going to be a recap. But then the capture is basically a Bluebeam only functionality. So what does that mean? So what does that mean is that technical terms, it's not an ISO standard feature. So within Revu, everybody's using Revu, everybody's using Bluebeam product as View, what have you. They can actually get this a drawing as sent to you, and you can actually open up, and just like what I just did, you can see these captures. However, if you try to open this in a different PDF viewer outside of Bluebeam, then that likely will not work. So they will not be able to see it on non-Bluebeam PDF viewers because it's not an ISO standard feature. It's something important to remember. But then the 360-degree photo capability is there with Revu 2017. Okay. Now the next one is the 3D PDF enhancements. So let's look at that one too. I'm going to go ahead and close this one. And there's a couple more here to get more space here. And I'm going to go ahead and open a 3D image. Okay. Loading up this document here. Now you have it right here. So you have this nice 3D functionality here. So what are the enhancements that we added here? First one is if I go over here, I can open a 3D model tree here, just like in the markup list right here. I have all the metadata here. So let me see what I have in here, right? Everything that's converted when converting a 3D drawing into a PDF. I go to column and I can see these are all the captured information that's available. I'm only showing, as you can see, some of them are clicked, so I'm showing it on the screen, but then all these are selectable as much as you want. All these informations are captured. And the great news is that if the user prefers, or if you prefer, you can check on everything. Why? Not just list it here, but you can actually extract that now. You can actually extract that into a CSV file, and you can just pull it out from Revu outside for your different purposes. So that's one advantage that you have here. Another one, I have a little search capability here. I'm going to go ahead and let's say search for Windows right here. Once I hit Windows, you can see that the image became a little transparent with the highlight on Windows. So this is a new feature that we created. Whatever you want to select on the items, it just focus on that one to give you a better view and make the image transparent on all the rest of the stuff. So give you a better, easy view of what you're looking at right here. Okay, so that's another enhancement right here. The third one is, let's say here I'm looking at the details over here, 3D model tree, and let's say I notice that, hey, look, I mean, this element ID, I want to put a different one, or it's different, right? I can actually change this element information here and save it. And I can once again export it into a report. So I have the ability to adjust, correct, make edits to the element ID and all this some of the information that's loaded here on the 3D model tree directly in the PDF. So that's a new feature that we have here. Okay, finally, one more enhancement we have is right here. Okay, real quick one. I have a sync right here. Trying to zoom into right here. Let's say I focused right here. I can actually change colors here. I'm just gonna go ahead and change one. I'm gonna pick another one right here, and that one is this one right here. I'm gonna go ahead and change that to red. Weird combination, but it works, right? So as soon as I do that, let me see if I can, yep, right here, as you can see, the colors have changed, right? Colors have changed. So I have the ability to change colors directly into the PDF 3D drawings right there. So those are the new enhancements that we have added on with the introduction of Review 2017. Okay. We go back to this slide right here. Okay. We're almost done here. Okay. Actually, we are pretty much done. With that, that's all the features that we have introduced for Review 2017. Thank you very much for attending our session today. And please reach out to Advanced Spatial Technologies that you have here showing on the screen for any information you are interested in receiving, including review upgrades or for a free 30-day trial download version that we have ready for you. That's available through Advanced Spatial. Please go ahead and let me check the time real quick right here and see how much time we have. We have about 10 more minutes. So please go ahead and type any questions that you may have on your screen. And let me just go ahead and open up to see what we received so far. And I'll see if I can answer any of the questions during this webinar right here. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me see here. Okay, that's being correct. Okay, one question that I have here says how the area you measured from the plan can be checked as being correct. For example, all the surfaces components are equal to the overall plan. Let me see. I'm not really sure what you mean by the example here, but then what we can do as far as getting the correct measurement is, as I show you, first you do the calibration, right? You first do the calibration and you check the measurement there. So once you take the calibration, you want to make sure. So for me, I was a little bit off, several point decimals off. But then you want to make sure you do the calibration to get the accurate takeoff measurement there. So you do the initial calibration, then you recheck it by checking the measurement somewhere else. And as long as typically you would do that with a length. So yeah, if the CAD drawing already shows an area measurement, then that's great. That's one way to check it too. So you can actually do a calibration, and then if there's already an area measurement display that came from CAD program, just check against that and do a takeoff on the area measurement to see if it matches. So when you do it with Review, that figure should match exactly what's on the drawing itself that came from the CAD. And then you'll see that it's an accurate measurement that's taken off. You do that once, and then you know that next time going forward, you take other measurement, it's going to be accurate. Right? I hope that makes sense. If not, then please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to explain that further, maybe outside this webinar sessions and whatnot. But then again, calibration and double checking that the accuracy of that calibration is the key to getting the correct measurement, from your drawing. Okay. So far, I don't see any other questions. Let me just hang on for another 5 minutes or so. And, again, please continue to keep typing your questions, and I'll just wait for another 3 to 5 minutes or so. As I receive questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. Otherwise, we'll just basically finish it off. So just give it about maybe 3 to 5 more minutes. Please continue to type. Okay, seems like there's no additional questions at this moment, and we're pretty much at like 5 minutes, 3 minutes in. So let's just call it right here. Thank you very much, everyone, once again, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Once again, thank you very much. Bye now.